Hello, NHSA community. Dr. B here. I am so excited to be with you here. March 2022. Spring is closer to us. Hopefully, some warmer weather. And there's so much to talk about in March. So let's see what we can fit in just a few minutes. We'll start off with our love note. And I'm going to relate the love note to our topic this month. So it is National Social Workers Month. And in thinking about that, I decided what I really wanted to focus on are our home visitors who do some of the most important social work in Head Start and early Head Start, and honestly, in the early childhood world. Home visiting is kind of that little nugget that sits in our world that often gets overlooked. So I'm here to give it some attention today. All those home visitors out there who knock on doors and get to know people in a way that most of us never have the opportunity to do, and then respond to those relationships in a way that makes such a big difference for those families and those children. My love note this March is for you. And this whole vlog is going to be dedicated to social work and home visiting. So let's talk a little bit about that. And then we have some other things I want to talk about too. Mostly, I want to highlight for you some really great resources that both NHSA and eClick have available to you regarding home visiting. And one of my favorites, and I'm going to give you all these links here, but one of them really focuses on leading with empathy. And I love this resource because it helps, especially if you're a new home visitor or if you have some new home visitors in your program and you want to support them, you might point them to this resource. Um, and it talks about making sure that the home visitor is well trained and that they're confident, just like any other human service, teaching and counseling and all of those things. The more confident you are, the better you are at carrying out that service. So we want to make sure we're training our folks and that we're leading with empathy. And that Head Start kind of does organically, very judgment free, and very much putting ourselves in other folks' shoes in order to have understanding and meet them in a space where you can have conversation and build relationships. And I think it's so important. It talked about having a how can I support mindset instead of a how can I fix your problem, which sometimes comes across very judgmental without even meaning to be. So that how can I support mindset is something that I think is just a beautiful way of thinking about things. Finding connections and looking for clues in the home visit about culture and curiosities about the way a family lives and what's important to them, because those are the places where you can create relationships that are trust based, that open up all kinds of opportunities to get to know people and make a difference in their lives. So, the other thing I want to point you to is an NHSA resource about data collection and home visiting. You might find this really valuable. So, I'm going to provide that link here for you because collecting those data as you're doing the home visit is the way we get better at both serving the family and the children and just doing a better job at the home visiting process overall, and then training our new home visitors. So it all comes full circle. Super exciting. So check out the resources here, both on eClick and NHSA. I've got a home visiting handbook for you. And then there's a series of trainings. And I also just want to let you know that we will be doing the home visiting CDA at the Academy at NHSA. We're working on that now. It's to be released next year. So stay tuned. I will make sure and tell you about it. So that's our big shout out this month to our home visitors through social work, the National Social Work Month. And a couple of in case you didn't know, is in case you didn't know, NHSA's national conference in person in Baltimore is coming to you in the beginning of May. So by the time you see this vlog, you're going to want to register, get that early bird discount. I'm so excited. We have so many incredible presenters coming to Baltimore. And that Baltimore Harbor area is beautiful. So we invite you to be there with us, learn with us, have some fun with us. It's going to be a great time. I also always give you, and in case you didn't know about the Academy, since I'm working on that most of the time, I want to announce for you something we're doing kind of fun this year for pre-service. We're calling them back to program bundles. And this is where you take the Head Start basics and the Bias Busters basics and you buy them in a bundle for all of your staff. All of that is Asynchronous work. Asynchronous meaning it's on their own time. On their own time, they complete those modules. All of them have assessments. So there will be certificates that verify knowledge checks. So there's an assessment that goes with every single one of the modules. And it really covers all of the basic pre-service required by the Head Start performance standards in one shot. The only thing we haven't worked in there that is one of those requirements is first aid and CPR. We're working on it, but I know CPR needs to be live. It's a little harder to do. So, but if your folks do this training, they get 14 hours of professional development. They cover everything from bloodborne pathogens to active supervision to diversity and inclusion, Head Start history, make sure they know about Head Start. So it's a really cool opportunity for a program to do that pre-service, sort of the foundational stuff really easily and inexpensively. Then you come in when folks come into your center and you do those fun interactive professional development pieces that really allow you to gel as a staff. So hopefully that helps you. I try to think like a director and say, "Oh, I would love to have that if I were leading a staff." And then the last thing, in case you didn't know, I can't do March without saying it is National Reading Month. And I would have done a whole vlog on this one too. So this is such an important time to bring the importance of reading to your children, to your staff, to your parents. I once heard an elementary school principal in an inner city system where I worked say, our motto is teach a kid to read and save a life. And I was just stopped in my shoes at that statement. And it's really true. Literacy is the gateway to everything else. I like to say parents who read have children who read. So in addition to supporting the literacy of your children, you should be supporting the literacy of your parents. Get them reading. We're doing parent book clubs here at NHSA to try to promote that idea. When kids see adults reading, they just think, that's what I'm supposed to do. So celebrate Literacy Month all the fun ways you can, the Read Across America, and all of those good things that you can do that are so much fun. But in addition to that, really think about how you embed that literacy concept into your children's daily lives, into your staff daily life, and into those parents' daily lives. And I think you'll see great things happen. All righty, that's all I have time for this month. Happy March, happy spring, and don't forget, Head Start is access to the American dream. Go make dreams happen.